Hello, it's Tommy. This video starts back in 2021. The earlier part of 21 was spent repairing the fencing and getting the proper permits, because in the middle of June is when I had arranged to have some deer delivered.
Ow! Come on, girls. There you go, Kels. Go there, you dumbass. Go, eat. Let's go, eat. I got one more. Hold on.
Yep.
Here we go.
Is that one coming up next to you?
Yeah.
We're going this way. We're going that way. Here we go, Kels. Ready?
Yep.
She's looking at you. Come on, baby. Yeah. Almost got kicked right in the face. Yeah. Okay. Stalls in it for the deer.
Since this was in June, it was rather hot out, so we had arranged to have them delivered in the nighttime. This was about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're right. They hit you in the face.
Yeah, the fence did.
And move the gate.
Yeah. Well, light now?
Right after the delivery was done and those guys left, I went out in the nighttime, of course, to just look at them. I just wanted to look at them. And this was just the start of the first mystery. And right about here is where you can see that mystery begin. There is a fawn in the mix. And I don't know where she came from. Oh, I don't want to scare you guys. I'm sorry. I'm backing away. I seriously don't know where the fawn came from. How is that even possible? Girls, I just want to take a look at you again. So there is a fawn right there. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Now, of course, this was nighttime and there was very little I could do. So I went out again in the morning. I did not quickly find the fawn, but all the big deer were there, so I felt comfortable that it was there. So I made some phone calls to my daughter to ask if she could help me get this fawn out of here. So my daughter came and we had to bring along some other help to watch my daughter's 1-year-old. She was 1 at the time, little Hadley. So we worked on trying to figure out how to trap this fawn, because this fawn was at least a couple weeks old.
Oh, this deer is wearing Mimi out.
Look
at her. She looks so tired.
One of the gates open for a couple hours.
There's a deer. I
before
see him.
The big deer were delivered
He's
to me. That's the only explanation for how this fawn got in there.
Your Mimi, your mommy, your grandpa. You and Cuppy are sitting in there.
I knew there was a chance that one of these big deer were pregnant. They were supposed to not be pregnant, but they were in with a blind and crippled piebald male. So I did know that, but the guy who sold these big girls to me, he felt that they were not pregnant. So they were priced accordingly, and I was okay with that. So I did not think that, one of these had this fawn right here, but finally we caught it. Yeah, there was no way that one of these girls had this fawn and within just a couple hours it's up and running around and this big. There's no way. this fawn was at least a month old. So it had to have wandered in from the wild, but we had to get it out of there. While we were trying to catch it, we could see the mom, because the fawn was making all kinds of bleat noises. So we felt good that mom was out there. So we did finally catch it, and everybody got to look at it and give it a quick pet, which probably not the best idea looking back on it now. But, you know, I can't change things now. But the last we had seen the mom was at the edge of this field down here. So we took it down there. And unfortunately, I, for whatever reason, turned my camera off. So I did not catch their little reunion on video. But I assure you, the mother found the fawn, or the fawn found the mother. It happened. We saw them together. We saw them lick each other and then walk off together. Now, the big deer were delivered towards the end of June. About 3 weeks later, I found this little one walking around in the pen. I actually almost stepped on it. The way it was curled up, I did not see it. At the time, there was actually quite a bit of vegetation and some sticks and leaves and stuff. I mean, you can see that there's lots of green there. But I wasn't expecting a fawn, so I wasn't looking for a fawn, and I almost stepped on her. She jumped up and started running, and that's when I whipped out my phone to take this video. So I had a piebald fawn born, and I was just amazed. I was absolutely shocked. I wasn't prepared for fawns. I was going to arrange to get a buck and to have the fawns next year. So once again, I call my daughter, and she comes out, and we start looking for the fawns. The fawn, we were looking initially for just the piebald, totally not expecting any more, but we found this one here. This one turned out to be a little boy. We named the boy Bear, and the one with the white face and the white legs, the piebald, we named her Willow. We started off right away. I gave them both some colostrum replacement. I didn't know if mom had been taking care of them or not. I mean, they looked okay. They looked clean. They were up walking around, that kind of thing. So, I mean, we had to get them on the bottle right away. We wanted some tame ones, and that was the reason we wanted them on the bottle rather than their mom taking care of them. Now, at the time, I was working 4 12-hour shifts a week, and so I asked my daughter if she would help me bottle feed these guys. So she would normally do the daytime feeding on my work days, and then I would do the real late one after work, like at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. And that worked out really well. Say good morning. He just drank his bottle, so he's a little milk drunk right now. So I'm getting me a little loving in while he's willing to give it. Oh, isn't that cute? That's cute. Yeah. Eat and run. That's what she does. But this one here is a little lover. Right after right after this one eats, he likes some attention for 15 minutes or so, and then he's had enough and trump off and lay down. This was the first time the piebald, the little doe fawn, let me actually pet her like this. She would always just eat and run. She never wanted any attention, but this was the first time. It's different, isn't it? You see yourself. There's my babies. There's my babies. Hi, guys. I think she's a little bit hungry. She's been sucking on my shirt. I'm not sure what they're eating or licking, but both of them's doing it. Now at this point, it had been probably 10 years since I have taken care of a fawn. So a lot of this, although it felt familiar, it was still kind of new. I had to learn it all over again. I absolutely loved spending time with these guys. I would watch them for hours and hours, my days off especially, but I absolutely loved these guys. Spend as much time with them as I could. My granddaughter was 1 at the time, and she loved them too. We were trying to get them used to being around her as well. Here, eat some of this fruit. I absolutely loved the little noises they made. Oh. I just gave them some fruit for the first time. They both ate a little bit. Hi, baby. What are you chewing on? What is that? Oh. I don't know what that was. I'm gonna go get a rag and clean this up. They're 2.5 weeks old. just got done with their bottles. They both ate 1.5. That's a good sized bottle. And this one here is starting to warm up to us finally. No more just eat and run. They're starting to nibble on big deer food and on some fruit. I got some fruit over here. I'm sure they'll nibble on that. Willow was overeating some of that right before I whipped out the camera. Alright, I guess that's enough for tonight. I gave them some clovers and some oak leaves. They seem to like it. Now remember, my daughter was doing the daytime feedings on my work days, and a few days later she sent me these pictures. Turned out a third baby was born, another piebald, although this was into August now, so this was definitely a late born. And this was the first that I actually saw it in person. Baby is doing. I just come in here to throw some hay on some of their poop piles, and she come up to me. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning. The other two are over there. I just brought in a bunch of weeds for them to nibble on. Oh, I hear you, baby. I hear you. All right. Here's the size comparison. These guys are 6 weeks old. And here's the newest one. She's so tiny. This was the last video I took of the new one because the very next day I found her not alive, and it just ripped my heart out. It's their first venture outside of their little pen. She went this way. He went that way. It's all right. I'm sure they'll meet up. So Bear came over on this side where there's no big deer. Everybody's on the other side. He's just been walking around, sniffing, checking things out. There, she's finally coming over onto this side. She's just Walking around, sniffing, licking, seeing what's up. I've kept them pretty secluded for the last 6 weeks. So this is their first venture really outside the pen. Of course, they were still inside the big pen, but the amount of videos starts going down after that third fawn passed away. I kind of got into a depression state, and of course I was blaming myself for her passing away. It just really sucked, you know? Some of the big deer are getting acquainted with the new little ones. I knew at least one of them was a mom. I didn't know if one had twins or if two of them had singles, since we found both of them at the same time. I was pretty sure number 44 was the mother of at least one of them, based on how she was acting. She's already part of the group. I just wanted to be sure none of the big deer was gonna, you know, hurt any of the younger ones. I just really wasn't sure how they would act. So I was there on guard, ready to jump in and do something if I needed to. Oh, nice. So they'll be able to teach them how to be a deer, although I'm trying to teach them how to be calm around people, which I know is not their natural instinct. I really wanted some tame ones you could touch, not just ones to look at. I even invited some friends to bring their children or grandchildren out to bottle feed the babies. I mean, that was quite an experience if you've never seen something like that before or done something like that. I think everybody that did come out really enjoyed it. But I just could not snap out of that depression state from losing that third little fawn. So I actually took no more videos. The rest of this is just still shots that I'm just gonna speak over. You know, once in a while when I would go out, I would snap a few pictures, but really I was pretty down in the dumps. Losing a baby is just, it was just hard. You know, maybe I shouldn't even be doing this if I can't handle the death, but I understand that's part of it, but it doesn't mean I have to like it. You know, I really love it when everybody is doing well, or when somebody might be sick and gets better. You know, all the great things, but there's bad things too that happen. So I mean, I did enjoy my time with her. I know I'm talking in the past tense. She ended up passing away when she was about 6 months old, Willow, the piebald. And of course, that ripped my heart out too. She was sweet, absolutely sweet. She greeted me every time I would go out in the pen. And I really envisioned her being 6, 8, 10, 12 years old, you know, having babies every year, and that's kind of what I envisioned. But yeah, that surely did not happen. But as they grew up, you know, I gave them other things to try to eat. I cut up a lot of fruits and vegetables. They really liked the sweet potatoes and carrots, apples, of course. They just devoured that kind of stuff. I even gave them bananas and celery, different kinds of lettuce, even regular potatoes. And they had their preference. They ate the good stuff first and ate the non-tasty stuff last, but you know, they did eat everything, and variety is always a good thing. So, well, it got to be into fall, and I did not have a mature male, so I knew none of the yellow tag girls was going to be bred this year. My plan was to use this young buck here next year as my breeder, kind of in hopes of getting another piebald, since his dad was a piebald, the same as, you know, the doe fawn there. They had the same dad, but I had hoped, you know, maybe we can get some more piebalds and have something different. So, well, this was the night before the coldest night of the year. It was supposed to be -5 that night. I'm showing pictures here where she was just so thin, and I feared that she would not make it. And that's actually exactly what happened. I had a big pile of hay up inside that little shelter house, and that ends up being where I found her the day after this little set of pictures was here. I was hanging out with her. She started to lick my face, and then she started licking too high and licked my eye, and I got a little upset, you know, so I push her away, and me pushing her away right here, this picture about to come up, this is where she's licking my eye, but this is the final picture I have of her with me, is me pushing her away. I mean, what kind of remembrance is that? Thanks for watching, guys. And I'll catch you on the next one.